Well, hello.
Okay. Yeah, if this wasn't live, I'd say, okay, take two.
Right. Hello, folks. No, this is Ted Hicks, Late Night Parents. We do this every week. This show is kind of different because we just did a show.
We're doing it twice this week.
But we do this with the best tag team partner on the planet, Richie V.
Ted, what's up again? No, what's good?
What's going on again? Pretty heavy show.
Yeah.
Hour one. And for those of you that are listening to this in podcast format, through whatever way you listen to podcasts, we want to thank you. And you're like, hour one? What are we talking about? You know? But we just did a bullying episode, cyberbullying episode with the family, the Moore family. Pretty heavy episode. I don't know, Rich. I ultimately, as a parent,
yep,
you hope they get to the bottom. They receive the type of resolution
that they're looking for.
That they deserve, and I hope it meets their standards.
Right.
That's what I'm hoping.
Like I kind of got to at the end of it. It's the diocese has attorneys and money.
Yes.
And that's going to be a long fight, but hopefully
they keep pressing on.
They can get some more exposure.
Yes.
To our listeners. So listeners out there, if you heard the segment we're referring to, and you're in a position where you can maybe help out, please, send us an email, get in contact with us. We'll put you in contact with them and their people, and maybe make something happen. And if you haven't listened to that segment, please go back and listen to it. It's a pretty important story about a young man getting bullied, and what should have happened during the course of the incident and didn't.
That's true. That's something. But as we segue from that story, and we have a whole bunch of other stories to talk about on this upcoming show, I think we have one guest in the queue.
Cool.
The one guest is you talk about, what hosting the Cup would mean for the U.S.
Now, when did we host the World Cup last?
That's a good question, and we're going to point those questions towards our upcoming guest.
All right.
James McCreath, the author of the recently released novel Renaldo, A Tale of the World Cup Soccer, Terrorism, and Love. The book was released about a month and a half ago, and we'll start right there. Jim, how you doing?
I'm doing well, gents. How are you?
Pretty good. Thank you for remembering, because we set this up with your PR team many moons ago, and you were good enough to remember the date. So I want to say thank you, and thumbs up to you right there. Yeah. Gold star, Jim.
Thanks for joining us.
You're very welcome. We're starting off on a good note then. I'm
here
and you're there, so let's do it.
So tell us about Renaldo, A Tale of the World Cup, Soccer, Terrorism, and Love, the book that was just recently released.
Yeah, okay, so the first thing is it's spelled Renaldo. It's not about Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the best soccer players in the world. This is a fictional player that's set in Argentina during the 1978 World Cup. Which I was quite fascinated about. And what was going on in Argentina in those days is it was run by a military government that were arresting and murdering people right off the street. There was terrorism everywhere, and so I put two brothers into that setting. And one, Renaldo, is a young soccer prodigy. His older brother is angry and restless. He gets seduced into becoming a terrorist. And their two lives diverge as the World Cup is going on around them. So that's the setting of the novel. And Argentina actually held the World Cup. They won the World Cup that year in 1978. So it was a very intriguing setting to stick my characters into. And I've had some experience in the sports and entertainment business, so I use that experience too. I use my family heritage, which is Scottish and Italian. So Renaldo's grandparents were Italian immigrants like mine were. So there's a lot of me in this book, but it's all the matches and the teams are true to life. The scores of the games are true to life. So I actually watched a videotape of the World Cup games and set it as authentic as I possibly could with my crazy characters. And it's a love story, too, because both brothers fall in love with powerful women. Renaldo falls in love with a rock diva, and, of course, Franco, his older brother, is seduced by a university professor to become a terrorist. So that's what it's all about. I think it's a pretty exciting read in these days with what's going on in sport and terrorism and life in general.
Great. So with the recent news of North America hosting games in 2026, could you tell how the U.S., Canada, and Mexico national teams should start preparing, and what does it mean for each country?
Well, to answer, I was listening before I got on the air, and it was 1994 that the U.S. hosted the World Cup, and it was fabulous. I traveled. I live in Toronto, Canada, so I'm a big U.S. soccer fan because our team only made it once, and we lost 3 games, didn't score any goals. So I think FIFA's kicked us out of the World Cup forever. But you guys, the States, they were so close, and 2 of your best players, Michael Bradley and Josie Altidore, play in Toronto for our TFC team, and so I get to watch them. It's a very tough group to get out of the CONCACAF group because, you go down to Central America where it's 120 degrees and all they do is eat, sleep, and breathe soccer, and it's tough to come out of that group. And you got Mexico, who are one of the best teams in the world, too, so I get it. But I was very sad for the U.S. it didn't make it because it costs billions of dollars in revenue of bars and restaurants and paraphernalia. So it was really a drag that they didn't make it. But so the good part of that is that we've got the 2026, I guess.
26.
Yeah. Okay. So I think all 3 of our teams get in. I'm hoping because that's the only way Canada's going to get in.
Okay.
So that would be we get in the back door, right, if they let us in. So that would be great for all our economies and especially the States. I mean, you guys do. You've got the arena, the stadiums. I've heard rumors that the final will be played at Giant Stadium on July the 4th.
Wow.
That's just wouldn't that be awesome?
That's going to be awesome.
So that's just a rumor, but that's what I've heard. And again, it's like billions and billions of dollars of revenue. And there's a traveling group called the American Outlaws that used to be called Sam's Army, but they travel to games all over the world, and they're peaceful people. They're not hooligans, but so I joined them, and it just is out of sympathy of not having a Canadian team in it, but. It'll be absolutely amazing because it's such a great tournament. It's like when it gets to the knockout stage, it's I compare it to March Madness, which I love. It's probably my favorite tournament in the world because every game is knockout, right? And so what you can do is like how I wrote a little article on my website about how my American friends could pick a team. Well, you go back in your heritage. So I'm Scottish and Italian. Neither of them made it, but you go back another generation. My grandmother was English, right? So for you, gents, I mean, where did you come from? There's 32 teams in there. If you go back far enough, everybody can find a team to cheer for.
Yeah. I mean, sure, I can find United States would still be Puerto Rico, but yeah, that would be my heritage. Yeah, we could find that team. But now, World Cup is over. I know. I guess when we initially reached out, your folks initially reached out to us. World Cup was in preparations, and the tournament hadn't started yet. And I'm going to preface this with, I am not the sports guy of this team. Ted is totally the sports guy. I'm not. But I do, of course, get that you got extreme favorites in any sport, and you had a couple of teams in the World Cup who everyone assumed was going to be there and get in, and they didn't, and of course didn't end up winning. As the soccer guy, what do you think happened there? Because I've heard so many conversations about this.
Yeah,
and just
it was great. It was great because you never knew what would happen. Like the big guns like Germany and they go. That was the first shocker, okay, because they're defending champions. My thinking on that is that they went with the older guys that didn't have the legs, and they didn't have the chemistry. So much of a team, any sports team, is chemistry, and you could tell the Germans that as soon as they got down, they started bickering with each other. And I love German soccer, and they're some of the best in the world, but But Spain goes by the wayside. Brazil goes by the wayside. Argentina, I feel for Messi. I mean, that game that they lost, I mean, to France was crazy. I mean, and it was so exciting. So many goals, so many surprises. The goals, they had more goals, 169 goals, tied a record. And so for a lot of people think soccer's like watching grass grow, and it can be, but it's like, if you look at it culturally, it's especially with the World Cup, because it's like South America against Europe, or Africa against Asia, and that kind of thing. And then the class of cultures is amazing. It's like a giant chess match, Right. And some of the teams actually hated each other. I mean, Russia in the Second World War were arch enemies to Croatia. Mm-hmm. And you could tell in that game, that was one of the most violent soccer games I've ever seen. I mean, you never fight, unlike ice hockey, which I know a lot about, but you never drop the gloves in soccer, right? There aren't gloves to drop, but it was just, it's a very physical sport, and believe me, there's diving, and they're great actors, and it's crazy sometimes, but no, it was probably, a lot of people I've read, the professional people, the pundits have said it's probably one of the best World Cups ever, this past one. So just because of the surprises and the action, a lot of goals and a lot of just intrigue, cultural intrigue,
Gotcha.
So, Jim, question for you, and this is a question that's been asked 100,000 times. In the U.S., we have football.
Yeah.
Outside of the U.S., there's football.
Yeah.
When does football, which is, the rave of, everywhere else outside of the U.S., what do we do to increase interest in soccer in the U.S. during non-World Cups? How do we introduce, is it because of, the EPL or because of the MLS? What do we do to increase that, really rev up soccer to kind of start to deal with the big four sports organizations, hockey, right, and MLB and NFL and NBA?
Yeah, I got you. I'm a big NFL fan. I love college football too. I love U.S. football, and I think, though, you'll find, I've heard that the numbers are dropping in football, mainly because of the concussions, and there's a lot, that's come to the forefront of ice hockey too. For parents, like, it's much easier to put your child in a soccer. All you need is a pair of cleats and shorts and a T-shirt, right? So that the price is right there from parents' standpoint, and you get the same team culture. And I'm a big believer, and I've got an 8-year-old grandson. He's into ice hockey, but he's played soccer too, and all my kids played sports. So I think what you have is a good starting area in population base. You've got a large population. You've got a very good college soccer system, where kids can go to high school and get a college scholarship, it doesn't happen in very many places, which is a good training ground too. What the Europeans have is they have like academies, sports academies, where the very best players would come to the academy and be taught a system right from the very young age. And I believe the United States now has something like that. You have a new president of the United States soccer, and so he's sort of untested. But I'm hopeful that you can get everything together and find out how exciting it can be. Just seeing a great World Cup, and now so the enthusiasm is there. When your kids go back to school in September or August, whenever they go back to school, think about putting them in soccer and giving it a try, because it's less expensive to give it a shot, and if you don't like it, you can always go off to something else. But there is a like basketball, like the kids that want to get into basketball, it's their ticket out. And so can soccer be, and you can get a university education. They've got a great NCAA program in soccer, so it's not a dead-end street. Some sports are a dead-end street after high school. Well, soccer isn't. Doesn't have to be. You can still get a good education, or you can go to the U.S. Academy. I'm pretty sure it exists now. And so if you're an elite player or just an average player, because different kids they excel at different levels, different ages, so. That's what I think. They have to get the right coaches, okay, for the U.S. national team. That's very important. What a little tiny team like Iceland did was they had an Icelandic coach that knew the culture of the players, but they also had a foreign coach that knew the culture of world soccer outside of Iceland. And the United States, like they had Jurgen Klinsmann, who was a German and brought German people in, and not to knock him, but he didn't understand the culture of American soccer players, okay? So he did okay, but he ended up being fired, and they brought Bruce Arena back. So they're looking for a new coach, and I would sincerely suggest you maybe get two coaches, one that knows the U.S. mindset and one that knows the world mindset. So that's all those things. It's a great starting ground for young kids. It's inexpensive. It's fun. And then going forward, you can get a university education. And if you're an elite player, there's places for you to go. The MLS is a pretty good soccer league. You know, it sort of used to be has-been Europeans and South Americans would come, but they play some pretty tough soccer, I'll tell you. So I think yeah. So that's it. I think it's all set to go, and feed off the interest of the World Cup that just finished.
Yeah, you know, I think you have something there. I know, you know, I've got 3 sons, all of whom have either graduated from college or are in the middle of their college education. But you know, and they're all big sports players. All 3 of them started off, the first organized game they played was soccer. You know, we're out here on Long Island. Lacrosse is the big sport on Long Island.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And of course, everywhere you've got, you know, American football, basketball, hockey, wrestling, the whole 9 yards. But yeah, and they kind of did go along that path, though. They played soccer until they really got into, you know, 2nd or 3rd grade, and then just all decided to switch over, and you know, then it began the whole, you know, every season football, lacrosse, basketball, football, lacrosse, basketball, and as you indicated, with the big sports, you know, the footballs, the basketballs, it is a lot harder to get that college money because everyone is playing.
Yeah.
You know, you can be a big fish in your little pond in your neighborhood, but you know, just get out a little more and you find out, okay, you're not the big sports wonder that you thought you were, and there's just that much more competition.
Absolutely.
You know, so you're definitely onto something. You know, look at soccer for scholarship wise, but I think, you know, as far as the game itself, and again, this is coming from me, not the big sports guy. There's got to be a way to approach it to the folks in the States to appreciate the strategy and the action of the game. You know, it's just our style. We like, you know, bursts of energy that can be, you know, mixed with a little bit of downtime. It's got to appear that there's energy and something going on all the time.
Yeah.
But, you know, kids have been raised on soccer now for, you know, a good 40 years, you know, trying to get it in. So maybe this is the time where we can get something going in the States with a major league support.
You see, the thing is that, like, high school football has the cachet, Friday night lights. You know, soccer doesn't have that. You know, I get it. I love the weekend is football. You got Friday nights high school, Saturday afternoons college, and Sundays NFL. You got, you know, you're immersed in a football culture, and I love that. Soccer doesn't have that cachet. It doesn't have the everybody, like, it's a family thing. It's a pass down the sweater to generation, play for the same high school. I get that. You know, that's what soccer's up against is sort of the inbred way that the U.S. culture is with high school football and college football. You know, and then it's too late. But not everybody, as you say, you know, there's a lot of competition there, and for the really good high school players to get a top-notch college scholarship, it's tough, boy.
Yes, very.
So I get it, but it's not going to be easy. But I think this World Cup will help. And you know, the kids, you know, the soccer players are cool guys too. They get to take their shirts off after they score and slide on the grass, and their little girlies go woo. Football players can't do that. Hockey players can't do that. So they get to show off how buff they are. You know. So
yeah. Well, you know.
Anyway,
go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's fine. No.
So, you know, and again, I do think you're onto something because, you know, it has been just recently where you've seen some of the major international soccer players in commercials, you know, major brands. Yeah. So that does indicate that there is something going on underneath there.
I I think I'll close with this. Everyone, in America talks about LeBron James, right, and how popular his brand is. Cristiano Ronaldo, totally, triple, quadruple the amount of popularity outside of the U.S.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's just funny, and even if you want to go pound for pound and look for, Facebook followers and Instagram followers, Ronaldo and Messi, no one touches these guys.
Right.
So the following does exist.
So let me honk my own horn for a minute. For anyone that is interested in the World Cup, what my book does is a primer. It takes you from the boardrooms to the locker rooms to the stadiums with the politics involved, and it's a very good read about how a World Cup is put together and all the things that go around inside it, as well as a romance novel, a political novel, and if you want to find out about the World Cup and what it's all about in a setting that's very dynamic and deadly at times, it would be a good read. You can get it on your device, Amazon.com, Renaldo.com. Give it a shot, because it would, if you're interested at all about soccer. Argentina is the most American of South American countries. So imagine if the generals in the Pentagon took over Washington and the whole country, and there were National Guardsmen in every corner, and terrorism going on in Washington. In the meantime, they're holding the Super Bowl.
Right.
That's the setting. That's sort of what this book is set in. It's exactly the same thing. The generals take over the country. There's armed guards arresting people everywhere, and they're holding the Super Bowl. So that's the analogy I have for you. So if you're interested, give it a shot.
Very good. I just need you one more time, Jim, to plug best ways to buy your book or download it.
Right. Absolutely. Amazon.com. It's on every device. I have a website where I blog about things at Renaldo.com. Check it out. And gentlemen, thank you. This has been a lot of fun. I love talking to folks. Long Island. I love the Islanders. Unfortunately, John Tavares is coming to Toronto.
Yeah, he's coming to Toronto. We don't even want to go into that. We were talking about that last week. He's leaving. He's left us.
I know. I'm sorry about that. I have a lot of Long Island friends, and they're sick that they moved off the island.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Jim, I'll tell you this. I am in walking distance. I would attend about 8 to 10 games a year.
Yeah.
I went to Brooklyn on 2 different occasions to watch the Islanders play, and I said, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. So I hope they do what they do, what they're going to do with the new stadium in Belmont.
Yeah.
I hope the very best. There's going to be a truncated season at, what we used to call the barn, which is now, what was 18,000 seats is now no more than 12,000 seats.
Right.
Figure that one out. Thanks again to our Long Island politicians, but want to definitely thank you for coming on the show.
Oh, my pleasure, gents, and I hope one day the Islanders come back. So you guys deserve it. Yeah, best fans in the world for sure.
Agreed. Jim, thank you so much for sharing your story and telling us about the book.
Yep.
We'll
be in touch.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye. Take care.
Right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, that's good. Enthusiastic. The books, that sounds like it would be a great movie.
The book just arrived.
Okay.
It's on my desk.
Okay. After you read it, I'll read it.
Yes. And it's thick.
Yeah?
It's thick. Right. It looks like you're going to have to delve into that one. But I like it. I like the premise of it. I will tell you this much, Rich. Yesterday, I'm sure you're going to tell me what you were doing.
Uh-oh.
Yesterday, I was at Yankee Stadium.
What?
Subway Series. Mets, Yankees.
With Pops?
With Pops.
Ah.
He bought the tickets.
He
bought the tickets and was just like, hey.
We're going. So where did you park?
At his advanced age,
yes,
in his 80s, I parked and I paid the price of $42 for parking.
All right.
So, not that he couldn't make it. I mean, he definitely made it. I was just like, listen, let's just park here and we can get in, we can get out easy.
Yep.
1, 2, 3. And believe it or not, no traffic going and coming.
Really?
No real traffic.
Surprised. What time did it get out? 1 o'clock game?
1 o'clock game.
Yeah, all right. So you got
1
like
o'clock
4-ish.
Yeah, about 4-ish.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shock.
No traffic. No real bumper to bumper type, traffic that you expect.
Yeah. Good.
But yeah, it was sellout. 47,000 people there.
Subway Series always sell out.
Yeah,
both stadiums sold out every game.
It was, and it was an okay game. It wasn't the greatest game, but it was good to get to Yankee Stadium. I will let you know that I think the last time I was at Yankee Stadium was like maybe the weekend before Jeter retired.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
You know what? But having said that, I think the last time I was there was about the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the group outings that we had.
Yeah, I wanted to see Jeter before he called it a career.
Yep.
And we did, and it's just so much easier to get to Citi Field.
For us, because we're on
the
island.
And the parking is $22.
It's reasonable.
Right.
Yes.
You're just sitting here.
Yep.
And I will say I did purchase 2 watered down beers for $28.
Ouch. Did you spring for the peanuts and the hot dog too?
I did not.
Oh, okay.
And I drank both of those beers.
All right, good for you.
Okay. And I didn't feel a thing at all.
Good. Super Miller Light.
Oh
Miller
my
Light.
goodness! Yeah, it was one of those things. But we'll tell you that was going on. I did go see the Equalizer.
And
thumbs up.
Thumbs up. All right.
Denzel does it again.
All right. Did you see the first one?
I saw the first one.
Okay, good.
Denzel was karate kicking and
nice.
And shooting people
nice.
And hacking into systems.
Okay.
And
the new Bond. Denzel
totally.
Bond.
Darnell Bond.
Darnell Bond. Well, it's funny. When I saw the first one, the first time I viewed it, I had missed the beginning, so I had no idea what it was. I'm like, it's a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
Then, find out the title at the end of it. It's like, oh, remake of 80s, 90s TV show, but not bad. Yes.
Yes, I used to watch the TV show.
I had never watched it, but this was pretty good. I'm like, all right, let's see if they do
I
this.
think the show came on like maybe 85, 86.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
And I know we're dating ourselves because, most people are like, oh,
85, 86, but I wasn't born yet. No.
I wasn't born. I wasn't born until 1993. Nothing happened before then.
Oh.
You're like, come on.
Yes.
Stop. Go to Google or Netflix or whatever you guys do.
Well, good, because I finally saw Ant-Man and the Wasp.
What's your thoughts?
A lot of fun, great movie.
Wasn't it a fun movie?
Like we discussed before I had seen it, perfect placement for Marvel and for the studios this time.
Yes.
Right now, lighthearted.
Yes.
Jokes galore.
Yes.
Back and forth. Of course, again, special effects were great.
Not dark.
Nope.
Kind of campy.
Yep. Lots of the suspension of disbelief.
Yes. Yes.
Definitely have to go there, but a whole lot of fun all around.
But
and I stuck around.
That's what you get for it with an Ant-Man movie.
Yes.
It's perfect.
It's perfect, yes.
So you stuck around.
I stuck around for both. That's why I texted you when I was watching the credits. Are there going to be 1 or 2? Yeah. Middle credit surprise, which I still won't blow it for anyone who hasn't seen it.
You might as well.
The finger snap exists.
The snapshot.
The snapshot. Yes. I gotta remember that. That is great. That is really great.
The snapshot. Yeah.
And there he is.
Yeah.
Stuck in the quantum world.
Yes.
I
thought it was great.
It was. It was.
I thought it was great because, and I think I told you before. So I saw it at a screening.
Right.
And so we're there, and the snapshot happens. The entire theater.
You heard an inhalation? Yes.
The entire theater. And then I've got I don't know if he's a 12 or 13-year-old behind me. He was like, effing Infinity Wars, yada, yada, yada. I was like, whoa, buddy, calm down.
When I saw it, there were 3 people in the theater.
Really?
Myself and 2 seats over, because we all, of course, wanted to be in the best seats in the house.
Right, in the middle. All right.
And as Snapshot happened, the young lady says, I I totally forgot about that. Oh my god.
Yes.
I said, "Yep."
3D or 2D?
2D.
Smart.
2D.
We saw it in 3D.
That would have been a fun movie in 3D with all
Yeah.
the size changes and
Yeah.
all that. I can see that, and things being thrown around and her flying and all that. But
Jurassic World was pretty good in 3D.
that should be a good 3D. I
That
can
was
see that.
pretty good
I
in
can
3D.
see that.
This week is Comic-Con, so we're definitely going to have Todd Vandenberg probably join us next week.
All right.
The illustrious Todd Vandenberg. I just texted him while we were in the middle of the last show.
Looking forward to it, Todd. I know you're listening.
So a lot of great things going on with, per se, my side of the house, DC.
Yeah.
Nah. That's when you say, nah.
That's all that you can elicit from me with DC. I'm sorry.
I'm still going to say DC TV is pretty darn good, man.
Oh, I'll give you that. And I'm going to say, there's a glimmer of light with Wonder Woman. Still, there's nothing bad I can say about what they've done with that franchise in the movies, and they know it. But from some of the things I read, it seems like they also want to try to pin some of this on Aquaman. I'm like, no, unless you're just going for a specific market, just to try to drag some high school girls into the comic book theater realm. No. And Batman? Are there any changes, anything planned for Batman in this world?
I don't know. I mean, it's we're kind of waiting for that word. The word, whether or not Batfleck is gone or not.
And Joker. I think I
I
see something but there's 2 Joker movies in production.
2, potentially 3.
See, this makes no sense to me. Todd, we'll save this for our conversation with Todd because I'm sure he will have something to say about this.
He's definitely sure to have some insight on that. But I think potentially 3 Joker movies, and 2 of them are not canon.
So we're just going to make up a couple of stories to
Yeah.
confuse people, and then one will follow some timelines.
Because if you remember, during the Dark Knight trilogy,
Yes.
which was the beginning of the end for DC,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
Because he set the high. Chris Nolan
Set that bar way high.
too high.
A combination of Nolan and Heath Ledger.
Yes.
Nolan set it high and got that performance out of Heath Ledger.
Yes.
But the combination, there's nothing bad I could say about that at all.
Yes.
So supposedly they're from some of the things I was reading, it was intended. The story was actually intended not so much to go with Bane, but to continue on with the Joker for the third story.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, Heath Ledger passed away, and they kind of dropped it after that and changed up. So
had to switch up.
Maybe they'll go back to that story.
Well, we shall see. Me personally, I kind of like the grizzled, weathered Batman, the weary. I've just been doing this way too long. And I'm, you kind of get that right now in the Marvel world with Tony Stark and Infinity War.
Yes, but see, we feel that there's, we've had that conversation that they're just doing that to lead us up to Iron Man's gone, in the Snapchat, and that's that. They can, let someone else create the new Iron Man suit and go forward with there, and let Tony Stark ride out into the sunset. Right.
So, I think I sent you something kind of fun. There was something that was posted this past week. Might have been a week and a half. 25 summer side gigs.
Should give this to my son.
25 summer side gigs. And I don't want to go through all 25 of them.
Nope.
But I'm just going to say, we can say the title and say yay or nay.
Would you do it, or you wouldn't do it?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. Well, you hit me with the first 5.
Lawn Care Pro.
Yeah, I would do that. I wouldn't mind going out and just mowing lawns, laying fertilizers and down, just laying seeds down. Okay, I could go with that one.
Pool cleaner.
Yeah, that's got to be a hot and sweaty one, really. But yeah, okay.
But wait, before we do this, I was gonna say, is this based on us in our advanced years, or
us as 20
in our 20s?
This is supposed to be the college aged regular job, summer job guy. Okay, I'll give you answers there as well.
Okay, so bartender.
You know, I don't know if I would do bartender.
Now or 20 years ago?
20 years ago, I don't know if I would do it. Now I would. 20 years ago, I don't know if I would.
Pet sitter?
Nope. Neither now nor then.
House sitter?
I would have to think about that. I think back then. I mean, back then I'd probably say yeah, because someone needs a house sitter. They probably have a nice place, and they probably have the pool, and you don't have to clean it. Maybe.
Okay.
But now, nah. All right, so here you go for you. Mover. Would you be a mover?
I've moved on 3 occasions, and if you're telling me I would make $30 an hour,
$30 an hour
as a mover,
yes,
I would tell you to go to
Nemo. Would you like to be a mover? Would you be a furniture assembler?
No, thank you.
The permanent IKEA guy?
No, thank you. Because I think of how painful it is when I was putting together in a home office.
Yep.
Putting together the office desk.
Yes.
Painful.
Doing that all day long.
All day long.
8 hours a day.
No
5
way.
days a week.
No way. No, thank you.
But it's a good job for someone to get. Don't get us wrong here. We're not disparaging any of these positions.
No, and I think they said TaskRabbit suggests you can charge anywhere between $25 to $65 an hour.
65 an hour?
65 an hour?
30 years ago?
30 years ago? Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I can see
Today?
that. Okay. Today?
Today?
No. No, thank you. Lifeguard.
Lifeguard.
Lifeguard then. 30 years ago, lifeguard.
Yes.
Now lifeguard.
No.
Okay. And I mean, it's good for like $9 an hour.
It's good for about $9 an hour. No, thank you.
Would you be a tennis coach? We'll go with the assumption that you have the skills.
Okay.
A tennis coach.
I played tennis about 25 years ago.
Okay.
I was horrible.
Okay.
But I would enjoy to be a tennis coach.
I mean, you do it at be the tennis pro for the area, you get $60 an hour.
Specifically for private lessons.
Yes, for private lessons.
You're just sitting back.
Yep. Yeah.
Yes.
Throw the balls on the machine, let them hit them, shoot them at the other person. More forearm, less forearm. Spin. Okay.
I could do it.
All right. Well, see, here's one that you probably do on your own anyway right now for yourself. Would you be a golf caddy?
Dude, I would do that right now.
Right now.
You tell me, Jordan Spieth.
Yeah, there you go.
Tiger Woods, y'all. I'm in. I'm game.
$1.25 a game?
Come on, dude.
I would definitely have done that 30 years ago. No question about it.
I didn't tell you. I think I told you last week I was at the driving range.
Yeah.
Dude. Getting that stroke back.
I'm
telling you. I'm getting ready to get out there. I'm not sure what the date is going to be, but I don't want to be out there really, really hot. But it's Woodmere 9-hole golf course.
Okay.
9-hole golf.
So what you're telling me is I gotta. Robbie has gone with his boys and taken a couple of my clubs. I gotta check their condition.
Yes.
But are you saying that we might be doing a 9-hole course soon?
Yes.
Right,
yes.
I gotta
Very soon.
I gotta hit the driving range so I can make sure I get it reasonably straight.
Okay. Car washer.
I would do it
for $10 an hour.
See, that'd be rough. See, I'd have to be the car detailer. I got to modify that one a little bit.
Okay.
I would be a car detailer, and I'll come to you, and I will watch that car. And
for $12.50 an hour.
I'm charging more than that,
okay,
so I'm sorry.
Okay. No. Airbnb host.
Why not? I mean, it's organized people to stay at the house. Okay.
I mean, upwards of $81 average nightly rate in major U.S. cities, which I think beautiful Long Island, New York, would
upper end of that.
Meet that requirement.
Especially go out to the Hamptons. Absolutely. Come on.
Event security guard.
No. And no. That is something I would not voluntarily want to do. I mean, you think about it. At any major event, to be a guard there, once the beer kicks in and anything else kicks in, the wildness begins. And depending who the artist is, the stuff that can happen out, in the audience, no thank you. And then I'm trying to get backstage and find that, no thank you.
Fun fact.
Something
you don't know about me.
Go ahead.
Back in 1991.
Okay.
I was an event security guard for 2 events before I quit.
Okay. What were the events?
A fish concert.
Oh my God.
In New Jersey. And I also did Jones Beach.
What was Nikon's? Whatever it was called back then.
No, you remember the Jones Beach. Yes.
Oh, that must not have been fun.
No, it wasn't fun at all. And after that event, because I remember standing out there, pouring rain in my rain suit, and I was like, man, this really blows.
For $7 an hour.
Right. I did it for 2 events. I was done.
Let's see.
Rich, would you be a mock juror?
I would probably do it one time, just hoping that I got a case that was like juicy to listen to.
$200 to $250 a day.
Hey, that's not bad, especially back then. 30 years ago? Yeah, okay, I'd do it.
You can go to sites like ejury.com, jurytest.net, onlineverdict.com. And there's plenty of hopeful lawyers that will be taking bar exams this month to see if any student groups or prep courses need help. Mock juror.
Mock trials. We have familiarity with those.
Yes, we do. An audio transcriber.
No, that just sounds too boring. Just to sit there and write down what other people are saying.
Yes.
No, thank you.
$1 to $1.50 per minute.
$75 an hour.
So yes, we do roughly about a 55-minute show before Brian throws us out of here.
Right.
And
and someone could be sitting in that corner behind us.
Yes.
Typing away. Or listening to it later on and then typing away. No. Doesn't Siri do that for us now anyway? Just like, Siri, transcribe this show.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Summer sports coach, Rich? I see you totally doing this.
I was going to say 30 years ago, yeah, I would do that now too. You got to get the right sport that I'm going to, be qualified to teach anyone about.
Okay.
But I would do that. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Not per se a babysitter, but camp counselor?
Yeah, I would definitely do that.
I can see you doing that.
Absolutely. That would be fun.
Secret shopper.
Well, no, because I would get tired of people following me around to see if I was trying to steal something. No, mystery shopper, I mean, all you're doing is buying and getting the interviews. But, I mean, there's still... You can make $25, right? An hour to start. 8 hours an hour to start. Excuse me. Work your way up to $25 an hour.
And I was gonna run with it. I'm like, so are you stating that we could be in a store and someone could follow us around?
Absolutely, I'm stating this.
Tutor?
Yeah, I would be a tutor. Sure. Now or then.
Rideshare driver.
I like the way they get. Let's keep it clean. Let's not pick a specific brand. Yeah, that I would do too.
You could do that?
I could do that. I like driving, right. And as long as I can verify who's getting in the car, you can meet. I could see you meeting some interesting people that way.
Richie V, Uber Eats driver.
See, that one I'm going to go with a no. Because just delivering food, fast food, or slow food from door to door, nah, that's okay. I don't need those smells in my vehicle.
Not only those smells, but the people you're going to have to deal with.
That's what I'm thinking about. Why are you so late? I ordered this for
I ordered this, and doesn't and da-da-da-da-da, and you're just standing there like...
Here's your package, because it's through Uber, so I'm already gotten paid. So here's your package. Have a nice day.
Yes.
So, would you be a tour guide?
I'm directionally challenged, so I potentially would not be a good tour guide.
You know your way around New York well. I mean, New York City, $13 an hour? Then, 30 years ago?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, heck, I remember back in you ready for this?
Go ahead.
1984.
Okay.
I was a messenger in downtown New York.
Get out of here.
I'm serious. I worked for security messenger service, making $3.35 an hour.
1984.
1984.
I was working downtown as well, on Wall Street, and guys were delivering the securities.
Yes. So maybe
we may have crossed paths.
You know, when I tried to get into the building, and you might have been working. It's like, hey there, where are you going?
No, physical securities, stocks and bond securities.
Okay.
And we had messengers come pick him up, take him to the other locations.
Yep.
So, you never know.
You never know.
Would you be a tailor?
I would love to be a tailor
Yeah.
today. Provided I had my own cleaners.
Okay. Fair enough.
Like, if I had that business, yes,
Right.
I would love to be a tailor.
Got it.
Would I like to be a tailor in someone else's business?
Right.
Per se, not so much.
All right, I got you.
Oh, this is great. Parking space landlord.
So if you had this, why not? That's a freebie. That's a gimme. I mean, if you got the space and you can rent it out, free money.
Rich,
No matter what age.
What about, so yesterday, I'm in the Bronx.
Yep.
Up by East 161st.
You're up there. Grand Concourse.
Representing
Jerome Avenue.
Jerome Ave, Girard Avenue, all the above. And you just see random people standing in front of parking lots. And I'm like...
Waving you in.
Waving you in, talking about, pay me.
Right.
And I'm like, what am I paying you for? This is not your... Wait, I'm like, what's going on here?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just randomly putting a chair, taking
in
a
front
chair...
of a public street spot.
Yes. And telling you, oh, this is going to be, I don't want to go with any accents or anything like that, because then everyone will be like, blah, 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 and next thing you know, we get hate mail.
Yes.
I mean, at least we would get some mail. But,
send us mail.
You've got mail. Bring. But, so I think that's a great position.
That's a gimme.
Group fitness instructor. That's Richie V all over.
Why is that me all over?
That's you. I can just see you. All right. Come on.
Let's go. All right. Hustle. Move it. Come on. One more. Two more. Yeah, that would be fun, I think. Yeah.
And they would be like, I hate you.
But you love your abs.
Right. And you can charge each attendee $5 or $10. They're talking about $19.50 an hour, Rich.
Get a room full of people? $20 an hour? Okay. We can do this.
$20 an hour? Group?
20 people?
Would you see yourself doing one-on-one training with people?
I think that would be enjoyable too. The room stuff I can see being a little different. But then that's you probably get more motivation going when you got a whole bunch of people there, and let's go with like cycling, and they're all on cycles, and you got the music in the background, and you're pumping them up. That's probably a pretty good feeling.
I think so. The last thing the last topic we'll talk about really quick is, and it's on the site, Consumer Reports. Our good friends at Consumer Reports did some work with them, and man, are they in Spring Valley? Or are they in,
I think, Connecticut?
Like 914 type area.
Okay.
I did some work with them because I went to their facility to go talk with them and all the above. But they declared Consumer Reports declares war on cable TV sneaky fees.
This is good.
And it comes down to, I don't know if you have it up.
No.
But to get into the crux of it, broadcast TV fee, $4 to $11.
Right. Now, I'm kind of always wondered, is this like a breakdown fee that the broadcast networks or the broadcast transmission locations are charging them?
This is what the local is charging the cable.
Okay.
And this stuff gets passed on to the consumer.
Right.
To us.
Yeah, every month.
Every month.
$11. I think I'm paying like $8, I think it is.
I mean, do you know how lucrative it is to have like local broadcasting? So you see, like, a lot of people don't realize you have like Sinclair Broadcasting,
right,
and they say, oh, they have 190 channels,
right,
and you look at them about to purchase Tribune, and now I think DOJ
triple the number,
DOJ or FCC or someone LIJ, LIRR. Someone is holding that up. It's being held up because
Monopoly.
Start to look at it. I think you and I have talked about this on a million occasions about regional sports.
Yes,
regional sports is big money,
yes.
and it's gonna be put on the forefront, Rich, because Disney cannot purchase Fox's local regional sports package. 22 or 23 channels.
Right.
That's going to be if they sell the whole package, it's going to be about $20 billion. If they sell it separately, it's going to go even higher.
Right. Yeah, they'll break it down.
There's money in this TV retransmission fee and what happens. Sports surcharge fee. You know, we always talk about it. $7 to have ESPN.
Right.
$7.
It makes no sense. It's just another channel. Why is there a surcharge being charged? Added on top for this? That doesn't make sense. Now, high def technology fees. I wouldn't make a face about that 5 years ago.
Okay.
Right, because we got to go back a little farther, but to get everything in high def and 1080p and all that. All right, I can see associating a fee with that. These days, no. Besides the fact, it's broadcast over the air is high def. Everything is high def. It's not. It's almost not even fair to call it high def anymore. It is the standard.
It is.
So why should there be a fee for that? I don't go for that.
I will tell you this. I'm sure the show that follows us, I'm not sure if they're going to get into it, but I think right now only soccer, EPL, English Premier League is the only league that broadcasts in 4K.
In 4K.
Everyone else doesn't.
Right.
And how old is 4K?
Well, for the general public, we're talking
public.
like 3 years?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, nowadays you can buy a 4K TV
or
4K HDR TV for $300.
Yeah, reasonable amounts, absolutely. But then again, you have the streaming services that are supporting the 4K.
Right.
So, is it a case of, in order to broadcast that 4K for, the ABCs, CBSs, and NBCs that, broadcast over the air, I would think they're still finishing up paying off the 1080 conversion.
Yes.
And to do it all again, and of course that had to be mandated by the government.
Totally.
They had to finally say, all right, enough is enough, do this. Sure. How long is it? How many more years will it be till they end up doing the same thing for 4K?
True.
But until then, it's not going to happen.
Set-top box and receiver fees, $7 to $13. It's a pain.
I pay $10. $10 a month for for each box.
Right.
So like $50 a month now.
Right. Is that crazy?
It's insane. DVR service. Okay, this is another one. So, for our provider, DVR used to be built into the box.
Right.
There was a physical hard drive in there. You recorded only to that box, and that was it. So now everything is more stored on the local servers of the provider. So when you actually do a DVR, it's not recorded in your box. It's recorded, in a file back at the home station.
Right.
Saved
where you can call it up,
right? So you can get it on any box, and that's the reason why that works. But that fee is kind of outrageous. Yes, they had to build the storage arrays, they had to build the hardware, they had to build the back end, and it cost money.
So you think it's a valid cost?
Not that much, no. Not
okay.
13 to $25. No, not at all. Especially with the prices and the falling prices for data storage. No.
All right. I mean,
something. But not $13 to $25.
I agree with you. But I mean, a lot of people aren't smart consumers like us.
Well, but we still pay it because we got no choice.
Yeah, or we say, the heck with your DVR service, and I'll catch it when I catch it.
Yeah.
You have that option. I mean, because if everything is available, kind of like in a cloud DVR type way,
right?
Then why do you need the physical DVR?
That's true.
If everything's available on demand.
And and that'll be the next thing. Let's see if you can turn off that DVR option now. Because I don't think it's a part of my package.
No,
it's
just
there.
Turn it off. It's a checkbox.
Yeah. Because I don't use that much anymore. Like you said, everything is on demand. Everything's available.
Yes, you pull it up. Hey, I want to see season whatever of what I'm looking for.
Yep. Click, there it is.
As long as you're paying for that premium channel,
right,
it should be available.
Right.
Now, I know they like to play some games of, hey, we're only going to make 4 episodes available. Yeah. And, you find that more with broadcast TV.
Yep.
But when it's the cable and premiere channels, no, you can pull up the season.
Pull it up, yep.
You can pull up the season in Netflix.
Netflix is always there.
It's always there. It's always there. But before we get ready to get on out of here, I think this show was quicker than the last one. Great show.
This was. Wow.
Quicker than the last one. The last one was pretty heavy.
And I think that's what it was. But I'm glad we were able to bring them in. Glad you were able to make that connection. And again, I hope that someone out there, hears this and either speaks up if they are being victimized as such, or if anyone is out there that hears this and can assist with those folks. That would be great.
Yes. Bullying is real. Cyberbullying is everywhere.
Yep.
And I don't know. I'm just glad. I don't know how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
I'll close with this.
Go ahead.
I'm just glad our First Lady, Melania Trump, is working on the cyberbullying initiative. And
it wasn't fair for you to wait for me to drink something when you say that.
I'm just really, I'm serious. I'm glad she's working on it. I'm happy. I hope other people are listening in, the White House.
Brian, you can start the music.
I don't want to get on a soapbox. We don't want to make it. It's not a political show.
It is serious. It is, and it is something that needs to be addressed.
Yes, at all levels.
At all levels. Yes.
At all levels. But what are you getting into this coming week?
Ted, we've got one more Friday off.
I know. I got one more 3-day work week.
One more 3. That's right. Yeah, you were doing a Thursday Friday. Smart man.
Yeah, I learned from the best.
Smart.
I learned from the best. But that's kind of what we are.
Nothing too much planned. This next weekend, I'm having a barbecue with my fellow recruits. Our graduating class coming over, so we can have more than just a hero.
Yes.
And the instructors come. I'm going to invite them too, so if they can come out and just hang out for a little bit.
Okay.
That's it. Nothing else crazy
it's
planned.
A party at Richie V's.
Come on down Saturday.
Always.
Come on over. Since you missed the last one.
I know I missed the last one. I might be in Ocean City this weekend.
Oh, nice. All right, what game?
No. Just Ocean City. Just to go down there.
What?
Just to go down there. No game, no nothing, no.
And just the misses?
Just the misses.
Yes. All right.
Just them. We've been doing that a lot more lately.
Good.
Like, without the kids.
Good. Well, they're at that age.
Yeah, without the whining and this and all of this other type of stuff.
Isn't it great to turn around and say, we'll be back in a few hours.
Right.
Don't burn the house down.
Don't burn it down. Don't cook anything.
Right.
But that's about it. I think with that, best ways to get in contact with you?
At Late Night Rich. That's me.
And I'm the real Ted Hicks. We are out.
Everyone, thanks for listening. Have a great week.